And it begins. Card Kingdom have released their buy list with Magic 30th Anniversary Edition. The Black Lotus Retro Frame coming in at $3,000 is what they're offering. I'm using the credit price because that's the theoretical max. Granted, I know it's not the cash value, but it's still a good distinguishing value. For instance, someone trying to sell it on their own, they could slot in between the two prices. You can't obviously go under Card Kingdom and their buy list, otherwise a person's just going to sell it straight to Card Kingdom. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, is probably the best way to put it. It's not shocking, it's not horrible, it's just interesting. The way it currently sits, this is what you could use to sort of try and figure out where the box price should be. And according to Card Kingdom, the box prices are still overestimated. Because, for instance, say a box price was its normal $1,000. You're not finding a Black Lotus in 3 boxes. So the rate in which you're pulling the Black Lotus to the value you can cash in on it is not equivalent. And that's a good baseline to attribute to the boxes. Sealed product eventually climbs higher because of the simple fact that any one box could have everything you're looking for. It's that whole gambler's mentality. Doesn't really matter. All I'm saying is Card Kingdom are very conservative at the moment with their buy list. And more interestingly, if we take a look at what they're offering to buy it for and their sell price, we've got $3,000 to buy using the highest value, and they're selling it for $3,500. So their margin on a Black Lotus Retro Frame 30th Anniversary Edition proxy is 15%. And this is very interesting to me. Because if we take a look at something like a Jeweled Lotus, for instance, the premium version, so the hardest to pull, they buy it for $700 roughly, and they sell it for $1,000, so that's 30% markup. We go to the extreme end, the actual Alpha Black Lotus. They'll take it off your hands for just shy of $120,000, and then they'll flip it for $150,000. So between these two cards, this first, the Jeweled Lotus, has a markup of 30%, and then the Black Lotus has a markup of 22%. Why this is interesting is the general mentality is as you get into larger and larger numbers, the margin decreases. You're working with a larger principal, therefore your rate of return can be reduced since you're getting a more substantial amount back. What's interesting about this is you would definitely say the Black Lotus is the top end. So we go from a 30% margin to a 22% margin. This proxy Black Lotus has a 15% margin. Card Kingdom do not want to hold on to this card. They do not want to hold on to any 30th Anniversary Edition cards. Yes, they're willing to buy them and stock them for anyone who's interested. It's more so, in my opinion, that Card Kingdom wants to have the volume in their inventory. They want to be able to showcase that they have every card, whatever needs you have, they can meet, but they do not want to hold on to them. They're trying to make 15%. In other words, for them to actually stock these cards over a different asset, and this is something we'll get into a lot more once we go to the eBay listings, they're better off stocking something else. Hence why, A, they're being overly conservative on the buy, and they're being really generous on the sell. Because they don't want to park their money here, at least that's what the vibe I'm getting, but they will, simply for the showcasing of their inventory, of being able to be Card King, and being able to label themselves as the one biggest distributor for secondary cards. Onto the eBay listings. So they're starting to come down in price. There's some joke ones, but for the most, they're starting to come under $2,000 again, which is good to see, considering it's been, I think, 2 days since I last looked. So the fact that they're already dwindling, very good to see. It makes me happy. Granted, they're still going to be worth quite a lot. My biggest question is why? How can you have this mentality to buy this product at any price greater? For one, if it was me, I would never get over the fact that I could have bought this product at $1,000. So if I'm willing to pay $2,000 to sit on this product, I will go to bed, lie awake at night thinking that there's someone out there who has this product at half my entry value. Meaning at any point I go to sell it, there is someone out there who could drastically undercut any profit I'm trying to make. And to me, that just makes the product not worth taking a risk on, not worth sitting on in any form at a price higher than the $1,000 margin, especially when it's so volatile. The best thing, obviously, to do would have been to get it and flip it straight away. That's what all these people are doing. That's how they've managed to cash in on everything going on with Magic 30th Edition. I just don't understand from a buyer's perspective how you can think this is a smart choice to make. For one, the buy list indicates that these are not worth opening. You will lose your money trying to find cards. Two, again, if you wanted them, you could have gone to the sale. Yes, it cut off in, 40 minutes? You still had plenty of time to buy them. There was no queue, there was no traffic, you could have bought them. You shouldn't have, I'm glad you didn't. But don't buy them now. There's no reason to. If you have your money to invest, why on earth would you buy into this asset? This asset is not only toxic from its publicity, it is grossly overhyped and estimated. Once all the sale numbers come to surface, whether it be we figure them out or Wizards finally makes them public for whatever reason, all it will showcase is that this is complete FOMO. People who either misrepresented the fact that it didn't sell out or don't buy into the conspiracy, or, well, I'm going to say fact, because in a general sense, fact is whatever the majority understand and promote as truth. And since we are all collectively saying that it did not sell out, that they pulled it, I am pretty happy to say it's fact until proven wrong. So why would you put your money into this asset? If you had this type of money to invest, there is so many better options out there. There is no reason for these to be selling above $1,000. If you're opening them, I'm completely interested. If you're opening them, why? What is your mentality? Do you just want the cards? Because, I mean, you could go out and you could buy singles from a better set. You could buy a Black Lotus from the Collector's Edition, $4,800. So the price point is sitting under it, which is what we expected to see. But instead of buying these boxes, you could just put your money in a card that should theoretically hold its value far better than the 30th Anniversary Edition. And obviously it doesn't have to be a Black Lotus, it could be any of the Power 9, it could be any cheaper cards, or it could just be an entirely different asset. There is no reason to buy into this and sit on it. There's no reason to buy in it and try to think you can get away with flipping it. You are going to get caught out like the majority got caught out with GameStop. This is essentially GameStop for Magic. The community has taken it, the community has decided that they can sell it for way over its proper estimate. And sadly, it's doing that. There's lots of sold listings of its training hand, more than there should be. I mean, we can count them. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not going to count single. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 traded hands in 2 days. And mind you, they haven't been shipped yet. Well, I think actually they were saying some people have received their tracking or it's been labeled as shipped, but no one's received them yet. So you're pre-ordering a pre-order for double its price. What is your expectation? Do you really expect to be able to hold on to it and collect money in the future? Fast go, collect your free tendies. It's interesting. It's past the point of being shocking or aggravating. It's just interesting. There's a buy list up. Crack them. See if you can get your money back. I think Rudy, I saw, is offering $50 a pack. It's a proxy. It's not going to hold its value. It doesn't serve a purpose as a collector's piece. Anyone in their right mind would not buy a 30th Anniversary Edition. They would go and grab a collector's edition of any of the cards, and if they had the money, they'd obviously go for something higher. Or there's a beta. Hey, if you got 48 grand, there's a beta. It's hard for me to understand. I do look forward to just watching it. All in all, I am done with Magic. Even though I keep talking about it, this product, I'm not interested in anything else Hasbro has to sell. No matter if it looks good or not, it's not a game for me anymore. I mean, I'll happily enjoy the cards I do have and all the previous sets, but anything going forward, I can't. I'd rather get behind a far better game. So yeah.